Good morning, everyone. Feel free to start the housekeeping if you'd like. Appreciate it.
Thank you for participating in today's meeting. If attending in person, please do not connect to Zoom or teleconference while in the room, and please silence all devices. If translation is provided, click on the globe at the bottom of your screen to select either English or Spanish. Public comment will be taken after each item. If you're in the auditorium and wish to comment, please use the iPads located in the lobby or complete a blue speaker card as available. If you need assistance, please find a South Coast AQMD employee. Speakers may be limited to a total of 3 minutes or less for all agenda items. Times may be shortened to ensure all speakers can be heard. A countdown timer will be displayed on the screen for each public comment. More time will be allotted for Spanish translation that is not simultaneous. For questions or issues on making a public comment, please call the public advisor at 909-396-2432. That's 909-396-2432. Please adhere to the speaker time limit and treat others with courtesy, civility, and respect. Failure to do so can result in your mic being muted or you being removed from the meeting. Be aware that this meeting is being recorded. By participating, you authorize recording of audio and visual content presented during the live event and consent to subsequent use of the recording in the public domain by South Coast AQMD.
Thank you and good afternoon. It's great to see everyone, and we'll go ahead and start our Technology Committee meeting for February 20th, 2026. And we will start with a roll call, please.
Supervisor Hagman. Mayor Lock Dawson.
Here.
Mayor McCallan.
Here.
Board Member Video Campos is absent. Supervisor Nguyen.
Here.
Chair Rodriguez.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll go ahead and jump right into our action items for today, starting with item 1. That is amend contracts and add funds to contractor contracts for enhanced fleet modernization program implementation. And we have a presentation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Victor Ron. I'm a program supervisor in the Technology Advancement Division, and today I'll be presenting on Replace Your Ride. Specifically that. Okay, next slide. Okay, as by way of background, the Replace Your Ride program has been in place since 2015, and in that time, we've replaced over 14,000 vehicles, helping low-income households transition over to cleaner alternatives. So some of the statistics are up there. Typically, the vehicles exchanged are about 23 years old, and we've actually, most of our participants are in that lower federal poverty level, about 80 some odd percent, 88%. And currently, our highest incentive is $12,000 for zero-emission vehicles, which is battery electric and fuel cell. And some of the other options they have, if they choose to, is they can get $7,500 towards alternative mobility options such as an e-bike or mobility cards. Next slide, please. The program is, however, heavily resource intensive, so we require the assistance of several contractors. And so initially, our last contract was from an RFP in 2022, and we've actually used most all those funds because of all the volume we're getting. Some of it because of the reduced amount of incentives in the market currently. And we did do another RFP late in 2025, and we've selected 2 contractors for that, which we're working on doing the contracting. And in that interim, we need more funds more admin funds to pay our current contractors as they finish their work from the existing contract. And I think that's basically because of the high volume from the federal tax credit sunsetting, we depleted the funds more quickly than anticipated. Next slide, please. And so our recommendation is to basically amend the contract for those 3 contractors: Foundation for California Community Colleges, Green Paradigm Consulting, and Center for Sustainable Energy, and add up to $1 million to continue the program without interruption. I think next slide, or that might be the last one, so I'll be available for questions.
Thank you for your presentation. I'll see if there's any questions, colleagues. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and see if there's any public comment in person or online.
No hands are raised online.
Thank you.
Hagman moves.
We'll go ahead and close public comment. We have a motion. have a second? Okay, thank you, Mayor McCallum. And any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote, please.
Supervisor Hagman, Mayor Lock Dawson,
Aye.
Mayor McCallum,
Yes.
Board Member Padilla-Campos is absent. Supervisor Nguyen,
Yes.
Chair Rodriguez,
Yes,
motion passes 5 ayes.
fantastic. So 14,000 cars and counting. So thank you, colleagues. We'll continue to support a great and effective program. That'll move us to item 2, approve and adopt Technology Advancement Office Clean Fuels Program 2025 Annual Report and 2026 Plan Update and membership changes for Clean Fuels Advisory Group. We have a presentation.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, members of the Technology Committee. My name is Vasilios Papapostolou, and I'm the Technology Demonstration Manager. I also oversee the Clean Fuels program here at South Coast. Next slide, please. Each year, by March 31st, the South Coast AQMD is required, per the California Health and Safety Code, to prepare and submit an annual report of the Clean Fuels program and the plan update for the following year. The annual report discusses and documents all of the prior year accomplishments, and the plan update looks ahead to propose projects and adjust technical emphasis as required for the program. Next slide, please. So as part of our activities with the Clean Fuels program and the technology demonstration activities as a whole, we conduct extensive and exhaustive public outreach activities that help us identify clean new technologies, interact with stakeholders, OEMs, other agencies, national labs, and so on and so forth, to be able to identify technologies, clean technologies, to help us develop, demonstrate, and deploy those technologies with a goal to accelerate the transition to zero emission. So in 2025, we co-sponsored 20 conferences, and we attended most of those and participated also in some of them. Topics addressed in those conferences ranged between vehicle emissions, clean technology, clean vehicles, battery electric, hydrogen fuel cells, emission studies, fuel characterization studies, emission reduction concepts, and also sustainable mobility systems concepts discussed at those. At the same time, we renewed 4 memberships with CalSTART, the Fuel Cell Partnership, the Hydrogen Business Council, and the Clean Energy Institute at UC Irvine. Next slide, please. So before we dive into the accomplishments for 2025, let's look at briefly what has happened over the past 5 years between 2021 and 2025. Clean Fuels provided funding support of about $25 million to over 130 contracts, executed contracts, for a total project cost of about $400 million. The pie on the right side of the slide shows the breakdown of that $25 million provided by Clean Fuels, zero emission with 79% of that funding, near zero emission with 8%, and other projects with 13% or $3.3 million. On the left side, we're showing here 3 projects that have been under the zero emission category that were conducted during those 5 years. The Volvo Lights, with the deployment of 30 battery electric trucks and 11 fleets in Southern California. The Jetty project, with the deployment of 100 battery electric trucks with 2 fleets in South El Monte and Ontario. And also a project with Hyundai for the demonstration of 5 long-range Class 8 fuel cell electric trucks. Next slide, please. So in 2025, we partnered with about 20 entities, and this is just a subset here with 6 entities. So those partners range anywhere between organizations and agencies, small or medium, large OEMs, and also academic institutions. So just showing here a subset of those: CalSTART and EPRI, Voltu, Volvo, and then the Advanced Power Energy Program at UC Irvine, and the CSER program at UC Riverside. Next slide, please. So in 2025, we executed 34 contracts for a total project cost of about $44 million, and Clean Fuels provided cost share of about $4 million out of that $44 million. And on the right side there, you see the breakdown and the core technology areas that those $4 million covered: electric hybrid vehicle technologies, for the most part, zero emission infrastructure, health impact studies, stationary clean fuel technologies, and technology assessment, transfer, outreach, which is the conferences and the outreach work that we mentioned earlier. Next slide, please. So this is a subset of those 34 executed contracts in 2025. Top part of the slide from left to right, just to give you an idea of some of those projects or refresh you on some of those projects that we executed. Develop and demonstrate the megawatt fast charging for battery electric trucks with EPRI. The work with SoCal Edison Lab over in Pomona, and then the deployment of the dual charger in Ontario. To the right of that, the work with Voltu to develop, demonstrate, and deploy 10 medium-duty trucks, battery electric. To the right of that, the electrification of 3 battery electric ferries, a replacement of those 3 diesel ferries at the Balboa Island, and also the development of supporting charging infrastructure for those guys. Then to the right of that, the support that we've provided to Cal State of Los Angeles on the Battery Workforce Challenge competition, where they have a Stellantis cargo van to optimize the battery pack. And it's an initiative, a competition that the DOE, the Department of Energy, has been running. And we've supported that work with the students and the faculty at Cal State LA. Bottom part of the slide from left to right, the study with the UC Irvine, vehicle to home technology, and any regional air quality impacts as they explore this concept with a community in Menifee, 6 residencies and a couple vehicles and chargers that support bidirectional charging. And then to the right of that, a study with UC Riverside on investigating secondary ethylene oxide formation. They did some preliminary work where they identified some indication of secondary formation of ethylene oxide, and we are in support of that study, also loaning them an instrument that has high sensitivity and fast response for them to dig a deep dive and explore further whether that formation is significant. Next slide, please. In 2025, we completed 30 contracts. A subset of those is shown here on this slide from left to right. The deployment of 6 fuel cell electric transit buses with Sunline. Then we completed the switch-on project to develop and deploy 70 plus 8 battery electric trucks with Volvo. The development of an e-trailer with Range Energy, and those folks now are looking at electrified TRUs, transportation and refrigeration units, as we speak. Then we also closed another contract with Phoenix Motorcars on the replacement of 18 diesel airport shuttles with battery electric shuttles. And then another study that we completed was the replacement of 10 LPG yard tractors at the Port of Los Angeles with 10 battery electric ones. Next slide, please. So before we talk about what we are proposing to do or we would like to see happening in 2026, I would also like to point out that we, as of January 1st of 2026, we have 56 open contracts. So if you sum it up for 2025, 34 executed, 30 completed, 56 ongoing, open. So that's a total of 120 contracts that we handled one way or another during 2025. So now looking into 2026, this is a pie chart showing all of our 10 core technology areas under the Clean Fuels program. And this is all what we're proposing and what we would like to see happening and how we can contribute with Clean Fuels funding. So our proposed funding for 2026 under Clean Fuels is $31.4 million to provide support to technologies, vehicles, pieces of equipment, studies, research in those categories that are shown here. I would like to point out the zero emission infrastructure is of major focus in 2026. We will be looking to see how we can support the development and implementation of hydrogen refueling stations and battery electric stations at the same time, also for battery electric vehicles. And then in addition to Clean Fuels funding, there will be additional funding for hydrogen fuel cell electric technology projects coming from other funding sources, state, federal grants, and other programs. Next slide, please. So a subset of the hydrogen projects that we would like to see in 2026, we would like to see the development, demonstration, and the deployment of Class 6 to 8 drayage trucks. Some of those you've already seen, like, for example, the work with Symbio that was approved by the board last 2 months ago. Also, other refuse truck development work, hydrogen fuel cell electric cargo handling equipment, CHE, and also see how we can support the development of mobile hydrogen refueler technologies for off-road technologies. So this is just, again, a subset of hydrogen fuel cell electric projects that we would like to support using Clean Fuels funding. Next slide. Along those lines, for the battery electric side of things, just listing here some topics that we would like to focus. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the TRU is a technology that we would like to further support in 2026. Other development with electric trucks, Class 8, perhaps cement truck or other types of applications there. Linear generators for prime power use and microgrid applications. And then also look to support the development of charging microgrid applications using methanol reformation to produce electricity from hydrogen. Next slide. And a couple notes for the academic research that we would like to support. Some of those projects are already ongoing. So most of them are under the emission characterization study technology area under the Clean Fuels. So quickly here, secondary PM formation in tire emissions. This is already ongoing work. On-road brake and tire wear emissions from light, medium, heavy-duty vehicles. Monitoring work in the region for urban ammonia and nitrogen oxides to identify potential emission sources of those. And also similar to a concept like hydrogen mobile refueler for off-road applications, port applications with, say, CHE and other technologies, look at how we might be able to support a solution to look at mobile battery integrated chargers for on-road or even off-road battery electric vehicles and equipment. Next slide, please. So that was a snapshot of our proposed work for 2026, and we would like to also propose the new advisory group members for our SB 98 Clean Fuels Advisory Group and our Technology Advancement Advisory Group. Those advisors are of great help and very important in our work. They provide direction, guidance, and insights on how we need to develop and adjust our focus, our emphasis on different technologies and equipment as we move forward. So quickly on the Clean Fuels Advisory Group side, we're making a recommendation to add Mr. Matthew Forrest with DTNA. He's a senior strategist at DTNA focusing on hydrogen. technologies. On the Technology Advancement Advisory Group side, we are proposing to add Ms. Julie Burbridge with California Energy Commission. She's an air pollution specialist with the Fuels and Transportation Division there. Ms. Jessie Denver with Governor's Office. She's a lead advisor for zero emission vehicle markets. And last but not least, Mr. Paul Lane with SoCalGas. He's the senior manager of their RD&D program. Next slide, please. And this is a timeline of our work for the clean fuels and how we interact with the technology committee here and our board. So our work basically starts after the submission of the document in late March to the legislative analyst. So in early spring, we start all of our brainstorming for the next year. So back in spring of 2025, we started working on the plan for 2026. We went to the committee we brought the draft plan update for your review and consideration in October. Then we worked with the advisors to review that draft plan update. We received comments, we addressed them in the document. We hosted our retreat in late January 29, and we received feedback there as well. We are here now at the Technology Committee, February 20 of this year, and then going to the board in March for final submission of the documentation to the legislature by the end of March. Next slide. And our recommended actions for this item: approve and adopt the Clean Fuels Report for 2025 and the plan for 2026. Adopt the resolution that finding no duplicate projects or programs funded by other state or local agencies. Approve and adopt the Clean Fuel Advisory Group membership change, and receive and file Technology Advancement Advisory Group membership changes. And this concludes my presentation. I just would like to quickly say that in 2 weeks at our governing board meeting on March 6th, we have our technology showcase. We're working on putting together a couple of companies to come out and showcase their technologies, their zero emission clean technologies in that event. Thank you.
Thank you for the report. And I would argue that the sheer breadth of projects in this report would rival any in the nation. Really appreciate the amazing work of staff and the painstaking detail to get to this point in providing a report from last year and the 2026 plan update. I have a quick question, but just wanted to ask colleagues if you have any questions or comments on the presentation before we go to public comment.
Mayor Luck-Dawson has her hand raised.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Please go right ahead.
Hi, yes, thank you. I have a question and then a comment, so I'll come back with my comment after public comment. But I thought it was an interesting choice to put this SoCalGas person on the committee, and it's just interesting to me that you have that. Can you elaborate on that and sort of why you selected that person?
Yeah, Mayor, SoCalGas in the past has had a very robust research program that we've participated with them on, and we've been partners with them on several projects. So Paul is just replacing Dr. Yuri Freeman, who has taken another role at SoCalGas.
Okay, no, I think it's a good thing. That's why I was just wondering. I didn't know that SoCalGas had been on there, so appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Seeing no additional comments at this time, we'll go to any public comment here in person or in the online queue.
No hands are raised online.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and close public comment. And just wanting to ask generally, for the sake of the general public and being able to have an appreciation for each of the sections here on Appendix C11 of, there's a highlight on develop and deploy 70 heavy-duty battery electric vehicles. So with that and others that are throughout the report, how do we measure success, and what do we view as the implications for emissions reductions? Is there a way that we can add that layer of context to the report that will go before the governing board, just from the standpoint of being able to understand the magnitude of all the great work that's being done, the tremendous investment that's occurring, but just being able to bridge to the impact on emissions reductions, and which are the most promising that we see.
Yeah, so the Clean Fuels Program really, the measurement of success there, I would think I would start with, it's really the riskier program, right? We're trying to get these new technologies developed and then into the commercial market so they get scaled, widely deployed. And, one example of success there is that yesterday, May and I drove down to an OEM in Gardena, and we kept pointing out, there's an NFI truck, there's an electric truck, there's another electric truck. And they weren't all in our program, but this program helped develop those electric trucks that we see on the road nowadays. So the emission reductions from this program in particular would not be the best measure for this success. It'd be the commercial products that we see come out of this program. But then when we put them in the incentive programs, that's where we can see really those emission benefits from these technologies.
And so as a takeaway of those emerging technologies that are now closer to being in practice, what would you say are some of those most promising?
Oh, well, one shameless plug, our technology showcase, next board meeting. I think the thing that I won't go through all of them right now, but there was a big emphasis on hydrogen in this next year. We're going to continue to push that. Those fuel cell technologies work excellent. The issue is getting the hydrogen, getting the price down on the hydrogen, and that fueling infrastructure. We met with an OEM yesterday. They're very committed to hydrogen. And there's a lot of duty cycles where the battery electric applications do not apply, and the hydrogen either has to take its place, or we have to figure out some other science to reduce emissions in those areas. So hydrogen, for one, is really interesting. We did not show a lot of the marine projects in this because the Clean Fuels Program really is on the on-road side. But there's a lot of good off-road marine applications that we're looking at in the next year that hopefully we bring to the technology committee to show some really new, great technologies.
Okay, thank you. And unless there's any other questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion. Okay, thank you, Supervisor.
Second.
Okay, a second. Any discussion?
I just have
Sure.
another comment, Chair.
Go ahead,
if I
Mary.
may.
Yes.
Thank you. I was just excited and happy to hear that Voltu is one of your contracts, your projects. They are headquartered in Riverside, and they've been doing great work here. So that makes me feel good to see that. And secondly, one of the newest companies that we're welcoming to Riverside is an EV charging company from South Korea called Cheve. They're the second largest EV charging manufacturer in Korea, and they're consolidating their North American headquarters and their manufacturing here in Riverside. And they're supposed to have a huge reliability, just to be very reliable. So I'm looking forward to that, but appreciate this program because these things wouldn't happen without it. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the new stuff coming out about hydrogen this year. So thank you. And with that, I'd make a motion if nobody else did, but I think you already did. So I'll stop. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. It's exciting to hear about all that's happening in your great city as well. So we do have a motion and a second. We'll go ahead and call for the vote, please.
Mr. Hageman, Mayor Lock Dawson,
Aye.
Mayor McCallum,
Yes.
Board Member Vidia-Campos is absent. Supervisor Nguyen,
Yes.
Chair Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate the great presentation. And just continuing my goal with my colleagues to continue to showcase some of the emerging technologies before us today, I'd like to introduce Joby Avanias and a presentation on electronic vertical takeoff and landing and the upcoming launch of electric air taxi services. This new era of flight aims to transform mobility using zero operating emission aircraft across our South Coast Air Quality Management District region. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Ryan Broadley from Joby Aviation, and I appreciate you giving me the time today to share a bit about Joby and the burgeoning eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing industry. Next slide, please. So I have a few slides here just to talk about the technology itself, and then a bit about how we're coming to market and when this will happen. So what you're seeing here is an aircraft that has been developed over the last 15 years or so. Joby is actually based in Northern California and have been flying aircraft for over 10 years now. And we are at the final stages of certifying these aircraft with the FAA. So these are fully battery electric aircraft. You can see the performance of the aircraft along the bottom of the screen there. The first version of these aircraft will have a target range of 100 miles. They will fly at 200 miles an hour and have a target payload of 1,000 pounds. The aircraft is actually designed with a single pilot up front and will carry 4 passengers in the rear cabin. In terms of the noise profile of the aircraft, it is very different to an existing helicopter. The aircraft itself actually takes off vertically and lands vertically with the rotors in the position that you see there. But actually in forward flight, the rotors tilt forwards and it actually flies very efficiently and very quietly like an aircraft on the wing. Next slide, please. So one of the key benefits of a distributed electric powertrain, in addition to zero operating emissions, is that we can build redundancy into the aircraft to make it extremely safe. So what you're seeing here, the red images there are the positions of the motors, of which themselves are dual redundant, and the battery packs, which are up in the wings away from the passenger cabin. So each of these motors are wired actually to 2 independent battery packs, so you can have component failures within the aircraft and still operate on 6 propellers, making it extremely safe. So next slide, please. And another key benefit is just the noise profile as well. So in overhead flights at 1,500 feet, the aircraft measures 45 decibels on the ground. That is imperceivable, certainly within any kind of city environment. And then at the loudest portion of flight, if you're stood at a safe distance from the aircraft, let's say 300 feet, you can actually have a conversation with the person next to you and watch this aircraft take off and land. So 65 decibels. So the 3 key advantages of this electric technology are the zero operating emissions, the low noise profile, and then the redundant safety features that we can build into these new types of aircraft. Next slide, please. So in the future, the vision is to be able to actually book a ride in one of these aircraft and take trips across the county, across the region, as if it was an air taxi. So Joby specifically has a partnership with Uber, and there are various companies in this industry that expect to deliver a taxi product, which would be similar to a ride-sharing product, where you could move around the market and have the option to pay for a quick transfer, a trip that may take you 7 or 8 minutes through the air, replacing an hour on the ground in this new electric transportation. Next slide, please. In terms of where these aircraft will operate from, there's a fantastic network of existing airports in Southern California and California generally, and across the country. We expect to use underutilized general aviation airports, access to major commercial airports as well. But because of the vertical takeoff and landing feature, you can use existing helipads around the region too. So we're certainly targeting the use of existing aviation infrastructure. But because of the low noise profile and high safety features on the aircraft, we do expect to be able to build new locations close to where people live and work and want to actually ride. And so we'll have to go through the necessary city, local, state processes to permit these new facilities. But that work has already started. And in the industry, we call these vertiports. So new locations where we expect to operate these quiet aircraft. Next slide, please. In terms of charging the aircraft, new charging systems have been developed alongside the development of the aircraft. So at each location where we expect to operate, we do anticipate needing a charging system for the aircraft. And certainly in Joby's business model, which is an air taxi passenger use case model, we expect to charge the aircraft in 7 or 8 minutes, the same time it takes for passengers to disembark and embark again. So this would top up the battery and actually cool down the battery. We would couple thermal conditioning along with the power and get the aircraft ready for its next flight. It is important to note there are other use cases for this aircraft. So passenger carrying is one, cargo is another, and certainly public safety is another use case as well as medical. So there are various different use cases, and that will lead to a few different options for us in the region. Next slide, please. In terms of seeing this aircraft out in the wild, Joby operates this aircraft nearly every day from Marina Municipal Airport in Northern California. That's our flight testing base. But over the last few years, we've been able to showcase the aircraft first in New York, our first urban environment back in 2023, and then a few different locations around the world where we have strategic partners. So you can see Japan there, Dubai as well. We've also operated in South Korea. The bottom middle image was one of in fact, our first flight from our home base in Marina over to Monterey Airport in Northern California. And more recently, we've started doing more flights, A to B flights from our home base up in Marina as well. We hope to start to showcase this technology and showcase the aircraft in Southern California as early as this summer. So we hope to give people the opportunity to see and certainly hear this aircraft as well. And then over the next year or two, we expect to get full certification of the aircraft with the FAA to be able to carry passengers on the aircraft. Next slide, please. This gives, I won't go into full detail here, but this just gives you an overview of the certification process. So we've simplified what is a very complex process with the FAA that will award us a type certification for the aircraft and reach the same level of safety as every other approved aircraft that is flying. We are in the final stages, so stage 4 and stage 5, and we've been working on this for the last 10 years or so. So next slide, please. And finally, just some of the work that's happening on the ground here in Southern California. We don't want to bring this aircraft to market overnight and this be a surprise. So there's been lots of work with the local communities, making sure that we educate them on the technology, the service that we expect to operate, as well as conversations with the airports and other infrastructure providers to really identify what the launch network will be. So a lot of work is happening on the ground at the moment in Southern California to get folks ready for this new technology. Next slide, please, and I'll end it there. Thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Broadley. Really appreciate the presentation, and I'll open it up to any questions. Supervisor Hagman.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I first saw this technology a couple of years ago on the SCAG committee when we were doing technology. And my question's always been, since I represent San Bernardino County and one large airport, so I have like 9 airports in my county I can talk to you about. But the infrastructure to do fast charging, when the airports are already on the quote red line of getting energy, have you been working with? I know I don't remember hearing about it for my airports yet. That's my limitation. Is even if you want to go other places, like if a city does not have an airport, they can put a location in their park, and so maybe your company can help us future plan our communities by telling what kind of energy needs you're going to need to have at a particular location, and let them start planning in that city planning or county planning going forward, so we can make locations available for the future technology.
Thank you, Supervisor. Yeah, this is something that we do a lot of work on understanding what the power needs will be for an aircraft and for the charging system. In locations where there may not be sufficient power for a fast charging system, we can deploy resiliency. We can deploy battery energy storage systems or BESSes in conjunction with low grid power to actually offer a reasonable tempo of service as well. So we are looking at the deployment of energy storage systems along with charging systems to offer that grid backup. But you know, I think at most locations there will be some sort of power work required to make sure that we can supply the charging system.
Mayor Lock-Dawson.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Broadley. I really enjoyed that. I would love to connect with you outside of this. I'm the mayor of Riverside, and we have a general aviation airport, and we are actually upgrading and remodeling our terminal specifically with eVTOLs in mind. So we've been working with some other partners on this, and our airport is now becoming a sort of a green transit hub. We've got Hyundai Rotems building hydrogen powered trains there, and we've got some other things for the Olympics. So please let me get your contact information so I can connect you with our folks at the airport.
Thank you, Mayor. That would be fantastic to make that connection, and to it, I'd love to.
Thank you for that. Any other questions? Do we need to go to public comment?
We do, but there are no hands raised.
Okay. We'll go ahead and close public comment, and I'll just take it back to Mr. Broadley. Just curious, where do you see the most promising opportunities within the South Coast Air Quality Management District region, based on your assessment of the counties and the airports, the major airports? Going to give us a little sense of your assessment?
Yeah, I actually think there is fantastic opportunities throughout the region, depending on the use case. So Joby is focused on passenger air transport, and so we've been working very closely with folks in Orange County, LA County, in the kind of high dense urban areas where you can see high congestion, where people would benefit from the option to travel in an aircraft like this. But certainly on the cargo side, there's a lot of interest from folks in the industry to supply zero emission cargo transport. And so that kind of extends the boundary of these aircraft. And I think the first iteration of these that are electric are in that 100-mile range. But as the aircraft evolves and the technology is improved even further, you'll start to see increased range for the aircraft too. So I think there's plenty of opportunity for actually all of the existing airports in this area to take advantage of this.
Before we let you go, take us through an illustration of someone who would be utilizing your technology. Give us a scenario. Just walk us through what we'd envision.
Yeah, absolutely. So Joby's vision focused on passenger transport in connection with or in partnership with Uber would be, let's say somebody was living in Orange County and had to catch a flight at LAX. That drive may take them an hour and a half, 2 hours at worst, peak time. Booking a seamless connection where an Uber would pick them up from their home, take them a 5-minute drive to either John Wayne Airport or one of the nearest new vertiports or helipads, where a Joby aircraft would be waiting for them. There would be a seamless 2-minute check-in. You may be riding with another rider that's going to LAX at the same time, and you can be at the airport within a 10-minute flight. So that door-to-door journey, which could take you, an hour and a half to 2 hours, the worst case scenario, could take you, 20, 25 minutes door-to-door with this new service.
I see. So would there be a location where these electric air taxis would be located, and you would just go check in like a train terminal, or again, just trying to envision point A to point B?
Yes. So at each of the locations there, it's expected to be a check-in area. Not quite the same as an airport in that we don't expect passengers to be lingering in that area. So this is a time-saving product from a passenger perspective. And so we hope that to be a very seamless connection where the aircraft is essentially ready for you when you arrive to the vertiport or the airport or the helipad. But we will need space to check in passengers and before they embark, yes.
Any ballpark estimate of what it would cost to enjoy this opportunity?
So the expected pricing, and this is yet to be determined, as I think as we get closer to launching in a specific market, we'll have some firm numbers. But the projection is on a per seat basis, something similar to an Uber Black price. So on an individual passenger basis, you may pay that. On the LAX example I provided, maybe $100 to $150 to take that 10-minute flight up to LAX.
Fantastic. Anything we can do here at AQMD, or we have leaders in different counties, supervisors, we have mayors here, we have SCAG past presidents sitting to my right, to my immediate right. I have two of them, in fact.
I think we are very eager to chat to folks that are interested in the technology and adopting this early. So we'd certainly welcome any conversations that come from this presentation.
Well, very good. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I actually have Mayor McCallan here, one of our SCAG past presidents.
Yeah, thank you very much. Curious, would you have to interface with someone like TSA and everyone to get on board your plane?
Since this is considered a Part 135 service, which is an FAA designation, you don't require TSA to onboard the aircraft, similar to getting on a flight at LAX or John Wayne. That's a separate designation. So there may well be some light security screening in the vertiport itself, but it's not quite the same as the TSA structure that you see at a large commercial airport.
And your pilots interface with the FAA control towers and everything that controlling the airspace?
That's exactly right. So day one, if we expect a small number of aircraft, you can expect we'll operate very similar to helicopters on similar radio frequencies and use existing helicopter parts. I think the question or the evolution will be in 10, 20 years from now, assuming that the adoption is good and you have more and more aircraft. I think there'll have to be new technology and processes that are brought in to deal with the additional volume of traffic. But day one, it's very much using the existing airspace system and the existing framework.
We have a large parking lot here at AQMD, and we have a demonstration coming up in March. You could fly one down and land it in our parking lot for a demonstration. We'd appreciate that.
Let me take that back and see if we can do something in a short time frame. No promises, but I'd love to do that too.
Consider that an open invitation.
Thank you.
Last question, I promise. I have two teenagers at home, and this will be a topic at the dinner table tonight. How soon do you think this technology could be available in the AQMD region?
So I think we will be fortunate enough to be able to see this technology in the region as early as this summer. The full certification of the aircraft by the FAA and receipt of that type certificate is required to carry passengers and have paying passengers on the service. So that is something that we're working on with them, and that timeline is a little less certain than my confidence in bringing an aircraft to showcase this summer. But we do anticipate within the next year or two to be able to offer our first rides in the US.
So please let us know when there's a demo opportunity available to see in person, or again, you have that open invitation to come here as well. So we'll leave it there for now, and thank you for your time, and looking forward to hearing future updates and continue well wishes on this very ambitious and impactful technology. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that'll bring us to item 4, and if there's any other business colleagues or staff. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to any public comment on items that weren't on the agenda.
Carlos, actually, I do, and I don't know if Wayne can help us out here.
Okay.
we were just talking earlier before we started the meeting about small modular reactors. So I'd love to get some input of when they may be deployable, where they're going, how's it work, get some background if we can
Great.
put that on the list.
Okay. Aaron,
Yeah, I think we can have a future presentation at the technology committee on those.
That'd be great. Thank you.
My recommendation is we don't be the first demonstrator, though.
But we got a big backyard here.
And I don't want to forget Supervisor Wynn or Mayor Lock Dawson. Any new business? Okay, very good.
Sorry,
go ahead, Mary.
I don't have any, I don't know if this falls under new business, but I think it does. So I'm AQMD's new representative to CARB. I was confirmed yesterday by the full Senate, so I am now officially on the CARB board. So just wanted to let everybody know.
Congratulations, and thank you for taking on that tremendous additional workload. We're in very good hands, and thank you in advance for your leadership there.
Carlos,
go ahead.
I got to brag back since Patricia keeps bragging about Riverside so far. So we're going to have the largest indoor track, half a mile, multiple stories high. They're coming, the East Coast company come to one of my parks in my district. We just signed an LOI last week. And the fascinating thing is these go karts are all electric. So but they play motor noises and speakers. So they get the effect. I guess they're driving the cars, but that should be interesting when it comes out.
Oh, we'll look forward to visiting that. Mayor McCallum, you want to brag about anything?
No.
Okay. Well, I think I'm still the only city with a presidential library, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Well, that said, all kidding aside, I don't believe we had any public comment, right?
No hands are raised.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if I didn't already do that, we'll close the public comment. Thank you, colleagues. That'll conclude today's meeting. Our next meeting will be already, goodness, we're March 20th, 2026 at noon, and we'll look forward to seeing you all. In the meantime, have a great Friday, a great weekend. God bless. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a
Meeting's
good
adjourned.
weekend.